be prepared to have your petting pony, your security dog, your warming blanket, your safe space, all this shit that people claim they need because the Democrat Party wants to exploit something less than 1/10 of 1% of the entire population. They conduct a poll that says, oh, well, 90% of Americans believe in gun registration, but what they don't tell you is that they polled 100% of the Democrat population, meaning like New York City, LA, and so on and so forth, that they're all for this so-called gun registry for the federal government. But what they don't tell you in this poll is that this gun registry is searchable PDF file for bad guys. So what sets it off? Well, why go through all this effort? Well, because they claim that guns are evil. You know, guns commit the crimes, right? Like my gun, a few years ago, it jumped off the table, went into the kitchen, stole my car keys, drove my car, performed a drive-by, then tried to commit suicide by throwing itself into the river. That's how evil guns are. It's not the person holding the weapon. It's not the intent of the person holding the weapon. I mean, Democrats never like to admit that it takes a good guy to stop a bad guy with a gun, right? A good guy with a gun stops a bad guy with a gun. So now they want to enact these laws where people like me, more than likely people like you watching this video, where you have to register your weapons with the federal government. I forget which bill it is. There's a couple of different ones going around. They want an all-out assault weapons ban, which is absolutely stupid. There's no such thing as an assault weapon. It's going to narrow down to semi-automatic weapons, period. End of story. You need a special license to have fully automatic weapons for the lame brains out there. So they want to ban all semi-automatic weapons. That includes revolvers. A revolver is technically a semi-automatic weapon. Any weapon where one squeeze of the trigger provides one projectile leaving the barrel is a semi-automatic weapon when, upon release of the trigger, another round is chambered and ready to be fired, where again, requiring the finger motion of your finger to pull it, squeezing the trigger, striking the hammer against the shell to fire another projectile downrange. That is a semi-automatic weapon. A machine gun, that they like to confuse most of the people with, is you push and hold the trigger down, and as many bullets fly out of the barrel as humanly possible or within the limits of the weapon's design. So they want to make it illegal, right? Because there's too much violence out there, gun violence. Even though knives, screwdrivers, and hammers and things like that kill more people than AR-15s, what they want. They want to ban the AR-15, bottom line. Why? Because they're big, black, and scary. All right, they want to ban them because I guess it reminds them of a black man's cock. It's big, black, and scary. So with these new laws, you are told through the news media and through other resources that you're going to be safer now because we're going to ban these types of weapons. We're going to make them create a federal registry, right? So nobody's going to get hurt anymore through the use of these weapons, these scary weapons. Oh my God, they're so scary. I mean, isn't it against the law to kill people? I mean, really, isn't it against the law to kill people? I think it is. How about if I kill somebody with a razor knife? I mean, they took down an entire fucking airplane with a razor knife. Isn't that illegal to kill somebody with a razor knife? I think so. How about if I stab somebody in the neck with a screwdriver? Isn't that illegal? I think so. How about if I jab that down their throat Wouldn't that be illegal? And kill them? Separate their spinal cord? Wouldn't that be illegal? I think that would be illegal. I don't know. I'm not a Democrat, so I don't have a one-track mind like a Democrat does. I'm able to think outside the box. How about if I light them, cover them in gasoline and light them on fire? Would that be murder? Is that still illegal? I think it's illegal, isn't it? It is. I could even douse them in hand sanitizer, then light their ass on fire. Would that be illegal? I think it is. I'm pretty sure it is. But evidently the Democrats, they need a new law for this one. Because murder is evidently non-punishable. As long as you do it with a handgun or an AR-15, evidently it's non-punishable. It's a no crime at all when you do it with a gun. But if you do it with one of these items, a hammer, yes, a hammer to the side of the temple, very good choice. Very good choice. Man, pretty messy, but good choice. This is more dangerous. Even though these items kill more people every year, including a rock. I don't have a rock to show you guys, but I'm sure you guys can get an idea what a rock is. They kill more people than a handgun. They really do. How about a funnel? Can you kill somebody with a funnel? I mean, I don't think that's on the law books yet. Can I kill somebody with a funnel and it be illegal? Well, it's not on the law books yet. It must be perfectly legal to kill somebody with a funnel. Well, if I cram this down your throat and fill your stomach up with bleach? Or how about gasoline? How about I fill it up with your stomach up with gasoline and then light you on fire? No, if you do not have a moral and ethical standard that sets you apart above the rest, then it doesn't matter what the criminal is going to do. The criminal is going to use any one of these items, plus many more that I'm not even showing. How about a suicide vest? Isn't that illegal to kill people? I mean, let me be clear. During my administration, we experienced several terrorist attacks. It's okay. America's got to pay. We're going to lead with our pants down. Right? Get your hand full of some petroleum jelly and wipe it up the center crack. Pull down your pants and walk backwards because it's time to pay. You hear me? I got a pen. I got a phone. I'm going to call ET and send your ass home. Right? The Democrats, especially people like Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, they've never worked a fucking day in their life in a real job. They got armed security. They got drivers that drive them everywhere. I bet Biden doesn't even have a driver's license. And you got people like this making decisions for people like you and me. Isn't that fucking retarded? Well, this new law is supposed to help protect us against the bad guys. You know what that new law does? That new law says I must register this weapon with the federal government, tell the federal government where it's located, how many rounds of ammo, plus other weapons you don't see. That's what this new law they want to incorporate does. It tells the federal government where everything is. And guess what? It is searchable by an online PDF. And what does that mean? That means when you're gone on vacation, I got a nice little shopping list to come and find your house and acquire me some goods. And because they know the Democrats is smart like that, Democrats, they're going to say, well, this ain't working no more. This ain't working no more. We got to stop this. So they're going to do an all-out weapons ban. Period. End of story. Why? Why go through all the effort? Because they're scared of a takeover. Not necessarily a takeover, but the Second Amendment is the last thing. It is the very last resort that keeps them away from total power. We hope, we pray that our politicians, our elected politicians, can challenge their demonic and destructive ways that want to destroy America. And if all else fails, this is the very last resort to stop us from becoming a communist country. A lot of people don't know about communism. It's being taught in schools that communism is a great thing. You know, the rich guy that makes $25 million a year, he's going to divvy up all his income and he's only going to make $33,000 a year now. Just like you, just like me. Fucking false. False narrative. False truth. It ain't never going to happen like that. It has never happened like that. In fact, communism has killed more people in the entire planet than any other religion or any other. Yeah, I'd say communism is religion. And bottom line, right? So this is the only thing that the Democrats are worried about. They claim they want to base everything on racism. Oh, the white guy shot all these Chinese women. But yet the Muslim extremists who shot the people in Colorado, it doesn't fit their narrative. So it wasn't racially motivated. See how that works? Bunch of bullshit. So in other words, do not register your weapon. Right? Because now they got a name and an address. I mean, the FBI has already got a name and an address anyway when you go to buy a firearm. Why do you want to give your name and address to a bad guy so he's got a shopping list to come into your house and steal your shit?